This is factoring where we don't start out with a 1. So this is, I had taught it as AC method. Okay, so now I know that when I factor this trinomial, 3x squared plus 11x minus 4, I'm going to end up with 2 binomials. I know the first 2 multiply to give me 3x squared, and I know the last 2 multiply to give me 4. So I do have a limited number of possibilities here. The outer plus the inner would have to add up to give me the middle term. But sometimes there's way too many possibilities, and I didn't show it to everybody that way. I use the AC method. So if I start with something other than a 1, I did what's called AC. And that's where I split up the middle term. And I'm going to get a 4-term polynomial. And then I can factor by grouping. So let's do that. A times C. A times C is 3 times 4, which is 12. So when I split up the middle, it's either 1 and 12, 2 and 6, or 3 and 4. That's the only possible numbers that multiply to give me that 12. So which one is it?
1 and 12.
Yeah, 1 and 12. Okay, remember, because of this minus, I'm going to subtract to get 11. So it's going to be 1 and 12. And now it is a positive 11. So the way that it's going to have to be, it's going to have to be a minus 1x plus 12x. That gives me a positive 11x. So minus 1x plus 12x. Drop down the first term, 3x squared. Drop down the last term, minus 4. Okay, and now it's factored by grouping, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, bonus points. It's been a while. Anybody remember what colors I used to factor by grouping?
Blue and red.
Yes.
Blue and red. Okay, so this will be my blue group, and this will be my red group. Okay, I did this once. I had these colors that looked just like Spider-Man, and my son was really into Spider-Man. So I'm factoring by grouping. My first group, when I look at it, what can I take out? An x, and I'm left with 3x minus 1. Drop the plus down. So that way in my second group, what I take out is positive, and what could I take out of the red group?
4, 3. Okay.
Can take out a 3. I'm sorry, not a 3, a 4. When I take a 4 out of both of them, I'll be left with 3x minus 1. Okay, now am I happy? Yes, I'm happy. You see this 3x minus 1 and this 3x minus 1? That makes me happy. All right, because it has to be the same thing. That doesn't just naturally happen. That is the same thing. We made that happen. We made that happen when we picked the right numbers, 1 and 12. We could get 11. We could get 11 a whole bunch of different ways, but we found the right ones to make this happen. So now all you have to do is you have to take out the 3x minus 1 out in front, and what am I left with?
X plus 4.
X plus 4.
Does it matter which ones you have similar? Because I have x plus 4.
The order doesn't matter. So if you wrote it down as x plus 4 and 3x minus 1, that's exactly the same thing. Now, if you had 3x plus 1 and x minus 4, that would be wrong. So the signs have to be the same. And the reason is because when you FOIL it out, like if I took and I FOILed this out right here, first 2, outer 2, inner 2, last 2, it wouldn't match up to the original problem unless it was exactly the same. Okay, now beware when you see multiple choice with a problem like this, they might say one of the factors is, and then they'll give you the 4 possibilities. So on the final exam, they might just say one of the factors is, and you know, maybe when you go to look at A, B, C, and D, it's going to say one of the factors is x minus 4. One of the factors is 3x plus 1. One of the factors is x plus 4. One of the factors is, 3x minus 7 or minus 12, who knows? So don't just look at that first one and say, oh, it's going to be x and 4. Because if you look at these 4 possibilities, x minus 4 is not right. It's not the same as this. It has to be, it's not that one, not that one. It would be this one. Okay, so be careful with multiple choice. Multiple choice, a lot of times, is easier for you to find the answer and feel good about it and get it right. But I do want you to show your work.